What do you like about Yaz in the leadoff spot?
So he's been having really high quality at bats since the beginning of camp. Obviously, there was a lot made last year of Yaz having a relatively down year based on how good he was in 19 and 20. That was a challenge for everybody because he was actually a pretty productive major league hitter last year, and in particular, he was a productive hitter against righties. So we knew and know that Yaz is going to conduct a professional at bat, and since he came to camp, he was really managing his at bats well. His swing is in a really good place. He has a history of being a quality leadoff hitter, and he made the most sense for us today.
You talked to Longoria. He said he's in good spirits. He thinks that it's good that he's progressing well on that 4 to 6 week timetable. What do you miss with him out of the lineup?
Well, first, I think it's important to acknowledge that opening day is tough for injured players, for guys that are not on the field, who came to camp in really good condition and expected to be on the field on opening day. So, and with Longo, given how competitive he is, I think it's especially tough. It's tough to watch him on the plane with the brace on and know that he wasn't going to be ready for us, both for him as a person and then for us as a Giant. For us as the Giants. Look, he's a professional. He's preparing for the moment that he is ready, but there's no question that this is a challenge for him. Sorry, what was your specific question on Longo? I was all over the place there.
You're good. Just what's missed with him out of the lineup?
What's missed with Longo out of the lineup? High quality defender at third base, professional at bat, lefty killer. Dangerous late in the game, the ability to drive the ball to all parts of the field. One of our better hitters when he was at his best last year.
I don't know how many box scores you looked at from yesterday, but there was a lot of 3 2/3, 4 innings, which is to be expected
right
after a short spring. But do you think Logan will be a little bit on a leash today, just given the ramp up period?
We're gonna have a pitch count for Logan today. It's not, it's not like one specific pitch count and you can't go one pitch over that. It's more we have an idea of where we think is appropriate for him to continue his build-up. And yeah, I think that's true around the game right now. Pitchers didn't really have their normal ramp-up time. And so we're going to respect that with Logan and always keep the long view in mind. We want him healthy and strong throughout the season, not just on opening day. And the same thing, same as we did much of last year, we'll read and react, and the game will tell us how to manage him. But we're obviously not going to push him to 120 pitches on day one.
You guys talk a lot about just the quality of at-bats from Darren Rock. Just could you see him hitting in the middle of the lineup against lefties and righties this year a lot?
Yeah, we can see Darren, and we saw this last year. He's one of the best at-bats we had against lefties and righties. He's so confident in the batter's box. He conducts such a high-quality professional at-bat, fouls off pitches, looks over the baseball, kind of embodies and exemplifies what we want in a middle-of-the-order bat. So no problems with Darren hitting in the middle of the lineup against lefties and righties. Obviously, he's DHing today, but one of the cool things about our roster is we have guys who can move around the diamond, and Darren can play right field, left field, and first base for us, in addition to taking down DH at-bats.
Gabe, sorry if you were asked already, but you've got Joc Pederson, obviously, with your team and playing in a park that he grew up going to games at and stuff like that. What do you expect from someone like that on an opening day, big moment?
Well, the one thing we know about Joc is he's kind of a big game player, right? He has a reputation of being especially dangerous in October for good reason. And I would call opening day a big game. We treat this game a little bit differently than we do the rest of the season. Obviously, a win counts the same on opening day as it does in September. But at the same time, today's a little bit special. I think Joc is going to be energized by that. And obviously, he's been thinking about playing at home for quite a long time. And I think he's especially fired up about today.
You mentioned. Sorry, what does he bring your lineup sort of on a day-to-day basis?
Joc runs deep counts often, and he's always dangerous to put the ball in the air to the pull side and obviously pop to the opposite field as well. I think he's a dangerous hitter in the middle of our lineup, and in particular, I think he's a dangerous hitter against right-handed pitching.
you mentioned that opening day is special. For the most part, opening day is a look ahead to the season. But when you had a season as good as last year's, opening day is kind of like the last look back. I'm sure there'll be a moment or two today when they'll be thinking about 2021. What will go through your mind when those moments of 2021 come to be mentioned?
I think there's a lot of pride about how we handled 2021, in part because I think the intangibles really stood out. The unselfishness really stood out. The preparation really stood out. So what we thought about during this camp is, how do we continue that selflessness from our players and from our staff, and then how do we improve that? How do we kind of get a little bit more value at the margins on the intangible side? So look back to 2021, felt like we were an unselfish club. That was our hallmark, and 2022 is going to be more of the same, and we're going to put our teammates first around here. That's going to be, we're going to double down on that.
Do you have any more clarity on Wade's timetable?
Nothing new to report on Lamont right now.
Apologies if you were asked this already, but how special is it to have a guy like Logan Webb, who is a draft and developed guy from the Giants, now opening day starter?
I think that creates a lot of pride, not just at the major league level, but having Logan, come through the Giants system. There are so many people who have a stake in Logan's development, from Kyle Haynes, our farm director, to our pitching coordinators, to our pitching coaches at the minor league level. Everybody had a piece of helping Logan get where he is today. Obviously, this is the most important part. Logan did the work. He deserves all the credit for where he is as one of the better pitchers in the National League. But certainly this is a player development, both at the minor league level and at the major league level, feather in the cap.
Will shorter spring training erase the difference?
Yeah, I mean, the most notable difference is we just didn't necessarily have time to build everybody up to 100%. So that's true for pitchers. You're going to see, as Alex mentioned, around the league, lower innings total at the outset for a lot of pitchers. You may see a little bit more conservative nature as it relates to playing guys every single day out of the gates. Some guys are going to have to do that, but maybe a few less. And it's just a time thing, right? You have an additional week, and you probably get guys a little bit closer to 100% built up.
Similar to Pederson and like Webb from Sacramento, you got Long and Dubon getting to play close to home. How special is that, getting to be on opening day roster, close to home, and being at this level and all that?
I don't think there's anything like playing in front of your family and knowing that they're at the ballpark, and then that you have extended family watching on TV and seeing guys play on their home turf. I remember as a player myself, whenever I would come home to my home city, and I had, whether that my kids or my mother and father, aunts and uncles at the ballpark, it always kind of made you feel like you were going to do something a little bit extra. So I have no doubt that guys like Sam Long and Brandon Crawford to some degree, Joc Pederson and others, Logan Webb, are going to feel an extra sense of pride on opening day, and just generally speaking when they're playing at Oracle Park.
Is it a new tattoo on your hand?
Define new.
Last year.
Yes.
Is it representative?
It does. My father passed in December of 2020, and it's a tribute to him. I put it on my hand so I would be thinking about him regularly, and I had a really special relationship with my dad, so I want to think about him as much as possible. Thank you.